Hello, and welcome to Living as Is. I'm Shar, autistic, self-aware, and awakening. This video is going to be about your 7 main chakras. And before we do that, let's look at focus. There are 2 different ways of focusing. One might get in the way of another. And by that, I'm not saying that doing this focus gets in the way of that focus. What I'm saying is, depending on where your perspective is, where your mind is, the focusing of one system to another system may get in the way. We can externally focus on life and what's outside ourselves, outside the body, or we can internally focus on feelings as well as internally on the body. When it comes to meditation, we really need to be focused on the subject matter. Also, the more information we have towards our chosen subject, it could either assist or get in the way. Now, my Kundalini rising at 26, that for me showed I didn't need to be buried in focusing on the subject. So I didn't need piles of information on chakras. A practice known as single pointed focus was enough. And the clearer the focus, the better. If you're a person who's lucky enough to be able to break every aspect of a chakra down and hold the focus without losing any aspect, or bring each aspect to mind in a clear focus, brilliant, all is good. Not everyone may be able to do so. I chose not to. And I only focused on the basics of a chakra. And hey, what do you know? That appeared to be all that was required for myself at the time. What I'm stressing here is back to good old focus. Focus on the subject with clarity. If mind wanders off, your focus wanders off with it. And if it does wander off, gently bring it back to focus. I was 12 months to bed, 11 p.m. every night. First of all, listening to a meditation that relaxed mind and body, adding a focused meditation on the basics of chakras. The tape I had was, I believe, 45 minutes long. So the first 15 minutes, that was a meditation that relaxed mind and body. And then the person who did the recording, they suggested at the end of 15 minutes to introduce a 15-minute meditation of your own choosing. I chose chakras. So keeping it complex was not going to happen. I just needed something to fill in that 15 minutes. And then once the 15 minutes was up, there was another 15 minutes which brought me out of the meditation. And as each session finished, I simply rolled over, went to sleep. Thank you, good night. Apart from the night Kundalini rose. That was a totally different kettle of fish. And for those of you who are not English and listening to this, a different kettle of fish, that means a different thing totally, a different thing altogether. I do believe in a clear mind. Clear from my belief systems in terms of focusing on any deity, Buddha or God. Preferring far more to use single pointed focus and keeping a clear mind. I've had many experiences, but not one of those experiences, not one of them has happened overnight. I've taken part in many seated meditations. During one session, we were asked to find sound, listen to everything around ourselves, even what was outside the room. So I was listening to everything. I was listening to boards creaking as somebody was walking in the house we were meditating in. I could hear cars outside. But then, off in the distance, behind me to the right, a police siren caught my hearing. It wasn't too close, it was slightly in the distance, but enough to hear it. And it started to move behind me to my right side. It was funny because it was like I was wearing a cone, and the cone was directing all the sound towards me. So all this sound's coming in, and it was like the cone moved behind my head as the siren moved behind. And the sound came over to my left side. And then as it got to the left side, it disappeared in my ear. This caused my concentration to suddenly stop. And as it stopped, and I sat there, it was as if all sound moved towards me. And I started to laugh. Couldn't laugh out loud. I was in a room full of people, so I'm kind of laughing to myself, giggling to myself at the realization sound has always been inside. Or inside. That's another conversation for another day. Final note on focus. A clear focus helps towards an open and clear meditation. Any confusion may only come from pushing too hard to interpret what you perceive, or hoping to achieve a certain outcome. You want it, I want it, come on. Meditate to let go and let be. Okay, let's talk chakras. Starting at the root, or base chakra. Sanskrit name is Muladhara. The base sits between the anus and genitals in an area known as the perineum. The base is charged full of energy. For the male, this will be the sex chakra. This area also enables grounding and security. The root chakra is red in colour, and for myself it was the shape of a globe. Moving up. and approximately 3 finger widths below the navel, we come to the sacral chakra. In Sanskrit, the Savastana can be known as the sex chakra for the female. This also enables procreation, family, creativity. The sacral chakra is orange in colour. We move up above the navel, about 2-3 finger widths above the navel, and we come to the solar plexus. In Sanskrit, Manipura. Here we find the self, ego, colour and form. The solar plexus is yellow. Up on to the heart chakra. We find in the centre of the chest. In Sanskrit, Anahata. Finding balance and where emotions meet. Heart chakra is a lovely emerald green in colour. On up to the throat chakra. In Sanskrit, the Vishuddha, lying just here in the dip of the throat, is giving voice and expression to the person. And the throat chakra is a blue in colour. Moving up to the third eye. Now, sometimes there's slight differences in what you may read. Some people will say the third eye is dead in line with the eyebrow line. I see it as slightly above the eyebrow line, but still in the centre. And this is, in Sanskrit, this is the ajna. So just above the eyebrow line in the centre. This brings us our psychic centre, the seeing, intuition, sensing. It's like your eye into the universe. The third eye is indigo, a bluish purple. Next chakra, you have a choice to make. It's the crown. Sanskrit, Sashahara, lying the crown of the head. The choice you make? Well, some people call this a 1,000-petaled lotus flower, and some say there's not 1,000. So there's the choice. This chakra contains all colours of all chakras. It's a multicoloured chakra. If colours mix, you can end up with a white. And some people do see this as a white lilac coloured chakra. Each chakra holds a certain part of the body. If there's an issue or issues in a particular area, you may be able to relate to a chakra and therefore gain an insight into this area. Each chakra also holds 2 emotions. You can do the same thing again in checking the area for any issue or issues to the chakra. Does it hold some emotional relationship to yourself? It's like The sacral can sometimes be looked upon as a family chakra to family, friends, and on acquaintances. So if there's issues within family, for instance, there might be an issue in that emotional issue in that chakra. And so it's like with the heart chakra, packed full of emotion, packed full of love. But is it blocked and you can't express? Or is it blocked and there's too much? Oh, no, not blocked, and it's just flowing out. There's just way too much coming out. Everything in balance. Everything in balance. Now, as to the shape of the chakra, I mentioned earlier that I saw mine as a globe. Some people see them as a cone, which is not a bad shape, because if we stay with the heart chakra for the moment, and so every chakra comes out and joins with other chakras, so you end up with a layer, outside yourself, and so starts with the base chakra, and then to the sacral, and on it builds, and so all the energies of the chakra flow up to the crown. The crown flows up and flows out and into the universe, but at the same time it curls and comes back down again. So all the chakras curl and come back around. So you have a front chakra and you have a back chakra. So you have the heart chakra opens at the front and at the back, and so the cone comes out, curls around, and then goes back in again. And all the chakras do this. And the crown will go up, go down, and go to the base and come back up again. So a complete system connects you to the universe. So a cone is actually a very good shape. I would get there in the end. And it sits just slightly below the surface. It might be an inch or so below the surface. And so on the night that Kundalini rose, I was viewing them as globes because I had no other information at that time. And so each one was a globe, but I can see them as a cone much better. So this is a simple hello, and here is your chakra. I'll bring out a video showing a more detailed chakra and opening the door for a more in-depth meditation should you choose to do so. So what I may do is I will bring out a detailed video per chakra. And so I will go through an explanation of the chakra, providing it's not too long. I'll also look at adding a focused meditation at the end of each of those videos. So I will work on 7 videos for the 7 chakras with a focused meditation at the end of each video. Thank you for coming along. Thank you once again. Click like, click subscribe. Come on, I'd love to grow this channel. I'd love for you to be there with it. And eventually I'd like to do more. So come on, click the link, click subscribe, and click the notify. Be aware of the next video. Blessings to you all. Thank you.